I'm Dana, creator of the Sleep Sense program, and this week's question comes from Wendy, and she writes, "My baby seems to be an incredibly light sleeper. The slightest sound seems to wake him. What can I do about this?" Well, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about how a baby actually falls asleep. My guess is that you're probably maybe rocking him to sleep, or he's going into his crib already asleep. And when you create that kind of a situation, basically what you're doing is changing the situation from how your baby fell asleep to how your baby's waking up. So you can imagine if, for example, you fell asleep on your couch and somehow woke up in your bed, that would be a fairly alarming sensation. So what tends to happen then with babies who are lulled to sleep with a prop, the slightest environmental shift or change or noise will wake them. And it's almost like if you're watching a baby, and it's almost like they're on a bit of a hair trigger, like the slightest noise, and they usually startle, arms go out. If they can sit or stand, they go right to sitting or standing, and they're often crying because they're surprised or a bit alarmed that they're not where they were when they fell asleep in the first place. So that's when I find that babies are in fact very light sleepers. Now the good news in all this is that when you teach a baby how to become an independent sleeper and they start figuring out their own strategies for sleep and are not so reliant on their props, the good news is that they become fairly deep sleepers. Most children in general, if they have great skills, are quite deep sleepers. And I can remember one time living in our apartment building, and the fire alarm went off, the internal apartment fire alarm, and it was blasting, and our son slept right through it. We had to actually go in there and wake him up. So I think you'll find that once you create the situation where you've got a child falling asleep independently, it's like if an ambulance goes by in the middle of the night and it wakes you from your sleep, you acknowledge that it's the ambulance and then you go back to sleep. It's not like, oh, now I'm awake, that's it, game over, I have to get up now. It's just a matter of putting yourself right back to sleep again. So that's the good news, Wendy. And if you're needing a little assistance with teaching your little one the skills that he needs to sleep well, you can click right on the link on this page and you can get started on the Sleep Sense program tonight. Thanks and sleep well.